Hey, welcome back, good people of planet Earth, and of course to our good friends in the cosmos. I'll be your host for the next hour plus, Ghost Man Sean Burris, the best in the Midwest, broadcasting live from the crossroads of America. This is your place for the strange, your Shadow Nation. And what a great show we got for you guys tonight. I hope you are ready, because let me ask you something. Did you know that since its start in 1972, the CIA had a secret project called the Stargate Project, and it brought in hundreds, if not thousands, of sensitives and mediums and remote viewers in hopes of using the powers of the mind to spy on our enemies and find answers to other anomalous phenomena that we may or may not have already known about. Don't believe in this sort of stuff, you say? Well, your government does, and they've been spending your tax dollars for 80 plus years on these types of studies. And tonight's guest might just change your mind. Tonight's guest is Amy Litwiller. She's a sensitive, emotional medium and dream traveler, starseed who comes from Andromeda and Atlantis. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Shadow Nation.
We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Stop this. A UFO.
Okay, guys, there we are. We are in studio. Welcome back. I'm sorry it's been a couple of weeks. I took off. It's been so busy, but I'm making it up to you today because we got Amy in the house. Amy Litwiller, welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I know you're a busy lady. You're taking classes. You're doing things. You're doing readings. You're out there. You're out there. Now, I got to ask you one thing, because, well, first off, explain starseed to the viewers.
So starseed, you feel as though your soul doesn't belong here on this planet, that you feel you're from somewhere else, and the soul has chosen you to come here at this time for a reason. But some of us feel as though we don't belong. Okay.
All right. And is that something like regression therapy helps you to bring up, or is that just something you feel from birth?
I don't remember much of my childhood just because I've had a lot of trauma. I was born with a heart condition and was given my final rites. But here I am years later, and I'm just going through a lot of inner healing. So doing that will help me release any trauma that I had of growing up, and just memory loss and just bits and pieces here and there.
Absolutely. Now, how did we find out? What age did you find out that you were a sensitive or emotional medium?
Actually, in 2015.
Really? 2015?
Yes. So my good friend is a certified psychic medium and a Reiki practitioner. And I had open heart surgery then in the summer of 2015, a valve replacement. And she came over to give me Reiki. And it was funny because both of the pillows, I had pillows on my chest for like comfort, and then they stuck to me. And then she was the one that told me that I had the ability.
Oh, wow.
And it all made sense because I have had encounters with loved ones that have passed throughout my childhood, coming in dreams and such. It was, I think the first dream I had that really scared me was I saw a hand coming out of a grave.
Okay.
And I was really freaked out by that. Like, I'm like, why am I seeing this? What is going on? And so it just didn't click to me like what it was.
Right.
So, and then
as a little girl seeing it, were you a little girl seeing this?
Yeah, I was about 12.
Yeah.
I think 12.
I grew up in an actual haunted house where
Wow.
the lady, my whole family would see her. And that's what I always tell people. I never had a chance not to believe in the paranormal.
Oh,
It was just there.
Yeah.
And, it sounds like it's followed you around too, like it or not.
Yep.
And discovered in 2015 that you're actually more than what you thought you were.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about all the new stuff going on? It's got to be exciting for you, right? With all the disclosure stuff coming out and the interdimensional traveling and
Mhm.
Congress talking about it here in the United States. What do you think?
Wow, it's
Things
crazy.
changing?
I don't really watch the news on
I don't
on
blame
that,
you.
but I do see updates, and I'm like, oh, and then it's like everybody's talking about it now, and
Yeah,
then they're like, oh no, no, but it's like it's everywhere nowadays.
yeah. You know what got me the most, Amy? Because I am so because people like you and I, and then our listeners and viewers that watch these shows, we live for the unseen,
Mhm.
because we know there's so much greater stuff around us
Right,
that we can't see all the time. You know that better than I do.
right.
And we live for this stuff. And when I tell people, when I read this article that they'll bury in the back of the paper about some fascinating, alien technology or something going on, and I'll tell somebody about it, and some of the sheep, the majority will just kind of glaze over and they're like, "Oh yeah, oh that's cool." Yeah, and I think that we've gotten so complacent with I mean, I think if UFOs landed in the middle of Central Park today, people would they'd either shoot at them or they'd just say, "Oh, well, we figured," you know? I don't know. I think we've been desensitized. It's definitely been a process throughout the years with
Right.
movies, media, all that stuff to
Mhm.
desensitize us, bringing us towards something. Don't you
Oh,
think?
great. I agree. I actually saw a UFO.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. We were at our friends, my boyfriend and I, at our good friends who's the medium,
Mhm.
and her husband. We were all having a campfire way back, a few years back. And then she's just like, "Oh, guys, look up." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Oh, what is that?" I thought it was like almost like a shooting star at first, but
Yeah.
then we were looking up, and there were these two circular objects. They were glowing orange, and they were, I don't know, they were like chasing each other diagonally, and then
Okay.
all of a sudden they were gone.
Oh, wow.
So four of us saw it, and then the guys were like, "Okay, I'm going to bed. We never talk of this night."
You know what's so weird? People talk about that a lot, like the 2 lights or 3 lights, and they'll split off all of a sudden and chase each other,
Yeah.
then they're all back to one singular object. It's like
Mhm,
these ships can disconnect and play with
mhm.
each other, and then they're all back to one solid thing. Yeah, I can't wait to see something like that. I never well, I've seen some weird stuff. Tell you the truth, just last week before the eclipse, which was amazing on Monday, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, that was blew my mind. I'm right here in Indiana in the United States, and we were right in the path of totalitarian or whatever, where we got to see the full thing, and it was just blew my breath away. Even people that aren't interested in space and stuff, it just
Mhm,
and that's what fascinates me because this stuff, you wanna know the answer to bringing together humankind?
mhm.
It's that,
Yep.
because I believe, in my belief, that we are alien, that we've came
Oh,
here throughout the years on comets, you name it, asteroids,
yeah.
little bitty, and somehow that's merged together and created us or maybe the Anunnaki. I don't know. I don't know, but there's lots of different angles out there. What do you think? I'm going to go deep with you. What do you think the origins? I know we're all different, but what do you
Mhm.
think the origins of our kind are? Were we slaves to the Anunnaki? Were
Mm.
we DNA experiments from the Greys? What do you think?
Um, yeah, that's well, from what I've learned is that we are all souls having a human experience, so we do come from the other realms. So when you pass away, you don't there's not just nothing, there is something.
Sure.
So I've seen it.
The dimensions, different
I've
dimensions.
I've actually seen the gates of heaven in dream travel.
Okay.
Like I was swimming in a silver lake and I saw the gates. I was just like, whoa. Maybe that's where I was when I was having my heart surgery, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with all the different names, but just for me, like, yeah.
Well, before the show, you were talking about the reptilians. You're reading an
Oh
interesting
yes,
article.
okay, the reptilians.
You
All
wanna
right.
jump on that?
Sure. So I was just trying to remember, I couldn't find my journals. They're somewhere. I've been keeping dream journals ever since I found out, and I travel, astral travel in there. And I remember once I was in a laboratory.
Mhm.
I'm not sure where this laboratory was. It was like a science lab somewhere. But then just last year, this past winter, I had a dream. For me, it's not a dream, but I'll just say dream.
Yeah.
Um, I was in this ship and I was lying on some kind of a hospital bed, and there was doctors around me. They had masks on, and they brought over this bottle of green ooze, like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like, okay.
Slime.
Yeah, it was green slime. So, like, I don't know, like, what was going on because I was not really afraid, but I couldn't move. So, in the state I was in, I felt like I was gonna let them put that in me, but then I woke up.
Right.
So then I just felt, okay, that's probably reptilians trying to make me one of them. I don't-
What did the doctors look like? Were their faces fully covered or?
yeah, so they had the masks like on TV here and
Yeah.
here. So I only really saw the eyes, and it was kind of blurry.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it was for like a comfortable setting, just
Right.
because I've been in hospitals a lot.
Yeah, right.
But I just knew something there wasn't right with the green ooze. I'm like, okay, I think it's time to wake up.
Exactly. Exactly. It's talking about that kind of stuff. Do you ever get worried, because what you're doing is astral travel, right?
Yeah.
Your astral projection.
Hmm.
And, that's right on the line with remote viewing and
Hmm.
all that stuff. Um, we know from the past that people that have these extreme powers
Hmm.
and that know how to channel them, sometimes governments really like to use them, and then when they're done with them, if they don't play along or toe the line, these people disappear. The most, recent case, I think, of the government making people disappear was the guy that went against Boeing, told his wife and child just was a month ago, said, "If anything happens to me, it is definitely not suicide." So they found him with a gunshot wound between his eyes in a parking lot of a hotel.
Oh my god.
He was the guy that Boeing makes the airplanes
Oh, okay, yeah.
and has all the government contracts. Yeah, this poor dude was doing a whistleblower thing on him, and
Wow.
before he was able to finish his court hearing, he
Yeah,
was.
they definitely have a part in something. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
because
yeah.
once I had a dream, or when I'm really relaxed and falling asleep, I hear stuff too. I heard the White House. I'm like, that's
Huh?
all I got was the White House. I'm like, okay, what is going to go on with the White House?
Right.
But I don't know. So, but I do feel like they were hiding it so long, saying, "Oh, there's no aliens," blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
But now they're showing footage of like ships that they had.
because they can't hide it no
I
more.
knew it. It's like you can't. And then all, like you said, all these movies, they're trying to make us afraid. Subliminal messaging, I think, just to make everyone afraid of them, which they should not be. Yes, there are bad ones,
Yeah,
but
sure.
like the Greys, I've had an experience with them.
Are they bad ones, Amy?
For me, in that dream, it was. I felt
Really?
because so I'm always in a familiar setting in my dream, like at a friend's house, and then all of a sudden I was picked up and being carried away by them.
Right.
Like there's maybe three of them that were trying to take me away, but I was like reaching out and yelling. I was yelling for my friend who's a medium, and she came. She did something with her hands, like, and there's a bright light energy, and then I woke up.
This was in a dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Alright.
was just like hyperventilating, and I'm like, what the heck?
Right.
And then watching, like, I watched this documentary on Discovery Plus, which we get the Travel Channel shows here in Canada. Um, The Visitors, if you've ever seen that one.
Is that with Nicole Kidman?
No, this is an alien documentary
Ah,
about
my
people that get abducted. Um, there's this one man that like they get abducted in their sleep.
okay. Yeah.
So I figure maybe this is how people get abducted.
Right. Right, in your sleep, and
Yeah.
then you think you're just sleeping, yeah,
Yeah. Like,
like missing time and stuff like that. I've had several abductees come on the show over the years, Tom Reed and a bunch of people, here in Indiana out in the cornfield. You can imagine people wake up on these country roads missing 2 hours of time,
wow.
and, they don't know what happened to them.
Mm.
The press goes kinda crazy in these smaller towns over that stuff, which I'm grateful for. because it's not like New York where they bury it on page 473 and then they'll put a picture of Trump's big butt or something on the front page, something that has no bearing.
There's no helping that dude. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean, though. They'll jab us with some propaganda thing before they'll tell you some life-changing, alien technology or something we discovered. The star seed, all that stuff, I understand. And you say you come from Andromeda and Atlantis. Now, those are two very different places. Atlantis was here on Earth, yes, we presume.
Underwater, yeah.
Yeah, and Andromeda is out there in the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
So, how could you be from? Is that a time travel?
Well, like past lives, different lives.
Okay.
I had a soul reading, and I have been, I guess, around quite a bit. I haven't experienced it quite as much. I had dreams of being on a water planet that had whales and dolphins. It was like all water is very beautiful.
I bet.
What else? I'm always dreaming of space. I've had dreams like just there. One of them I remember I was on some kind of like a gondola.
Mm-hmm.
Those like it was reaching out to the stars, and there was this little cart and had a few people in there, but then the cart broke.
Right.
So definitely trying to get back to where I was from, I'm guessing.
Yeah, your soul's trying to reach out, your mind.
Yeah, it's wanting me to leave the earth for some reason.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind going with you, my God.
I'll put in a good word.
Yeah, put in a good word for me, will you? I don't take up much space.
But no, because I took some classes just to like workshops to mostly help me and my ability to connect to loved ones and stuff. And along the way, I like to help others. Like I don't charge for anything.
Wow.
I don't feel the need to do that. As of yet, I don't know if I'll ever charge because
Well, you gotta eat, Amy. You gotta eat. I understand that, but I mean that's amazing that you don't charge for anything. I mean, that's commendable, but
yeah, because I like helping people, and I've given readings here and there. I do cards and stuff. I got a lot of cards. And I just like because I know for me, if I wanted a reading, I would want someone to be able to like afford it and because sometimes I know there are some that do it for business, and that's cool, but just for me myself, I don't think I could.
Right. Now you work full time too and everything, I assume.
I'm part-time in retail.
Okay.
But I actually did get a reading once at the psychic fair we had here. Hey, we need readings too because we don't get answers for ourselves.
Right, yeah.
We don't have all the answers. We're not fortune tellers.
Right.
No, but I was drawn to this one woman, and I'm like, okay, it was a little pricey, but I'm like, I'm drawn to her, and so she gave me a reading, and she did say I will have a career change. So I'm just waiting for that to see what will happen.
Yeah, I'm thinking some books in your future, maybe, huh?
Maybe.
Interesting. I gotta ask, you said before we went on the air that you had been working on something or you got some visions earlier or you meditated?
Oh, yes. Okay.
I'm dying to see this.
I was compelled to meditate. So I do remember since I was younger, I did always get like tired around the afternoon. And I kind of remember why I was so tired at this time, but coming back and looking back, I did hear like things in my head, but I just thought whatever, But yeah, so I felt compelled to meditate, and I got a few images. I always see this.
Okay, like a triangle
With
maybe
maybe ship. I saw a rabbit and a deer, a place with lots of animals, maybe like a forest. I don't know. Not sure if that resonates.
Oh, you think it might be connected to me?
Yeah, maybe because we talk it depends who I talk to that in a day.
Yeah.
So a place with like lots of animals.
Well, we have lots of rabbits out here right now. Springtime's coming up. They're everywhere. I live off a golf course.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I saw an old telephone, like one of those circular ones, that had like the numbers and you spin it.
It's funny. I was just having a conversation yesterday about a guy, how I seen a video where the kids were handed an old
Oh,
phone and they didn't know how to use it.
oh.
I just spoke to the guy yesterday, probably around 4. Yeah.
No, no. Oh, sorry. My dog just heard a motorcycle. Oh, God. Larry. Yeah, and then I saw there's one. There's a big tree that came out. It was just like I don't know what that. There's this one single big tree.
Okay.
Something about in the horizon.
The horizon.
The horizon. And then a cat's eye looked like a cat's eye.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And then very dry farmer's field.
All around us right now.
Maybe you're
In
gonna see a
Indiana?
UFO. Maybe you're gonna see a UFO.
Yeah, maybe I am. You
I
never
saw
know.
this too. I don't know. It almost looked like a planet, and it was kind of spinning.
It looks like Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
I remember during the eclipse on Monday, I was looking for the spot where Jupiter would be because they said the Devil's Comet, you might be able to get a glance of it during the eclipse. You remember that?
I
They call it the Devil's Comet because it looks like it's got horns or whatever. And they said it was going to be down by Jupiter. So maybe that had something to do with,
maybe,
me talking about that.
maybe. And then I was shown these when I was in the bedroom.
Let me see that image I saw. It looks like a gooseneck type through a window.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's interesting. I
And
don't
then
know.
my dog barked at me when I was like, because I was like seeing it through my eyes like this, and then he barked at me. He's like, "Dope."
Yeah. I wonder what that was. That's so cool. You got like 3 or 4 things there that I definitely just directly spoke about. I mean,
Well,
you know,
that's neat.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just showing what like, and I have to write it down. Like, I don't know what they mean until it happens.
Sure. Sure, but these pictures they float in your mind. But you have to meditate, right?
Yes. So I get like really relaxed. And actually, when I was watching the eclipse with the glasses on, I was shown this symbol.
The fireball at the end. A lot of people spoke about that. I didn't see it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but everybody was talking about it.
Huh.
That
And
remember the fire spark at the bottom or whatever?
actually, I did have a dream. I'll tell you about that one after about because I had a eclipse dream in the winter.
Okay.
But so this one, and I showed it to my friend. She's like, "Oh, that looks like a ball diamond, like a baseball diamond."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, kind of." And then I remember that the Toronto Blue Jays, were opening night that night also.
Okay.
We were, we were joking around, and I'm like, "Oh, maybe they'll win." And I don't watch sports. I don't have the news, so I only look at it sometimes. So I never didn't hear anything about the Devil's comments, or anything until after.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays won.
Oh, wow. We should
So
start a sportscast radio with your ability.
and they're like, "Oh, you should bet on sports." I'm like, no, because I might be wrong,
Yeah, that might be our claim to fame, man. We could go in there and we'd be like, Amy and Sean on the air live. Yeah. People would be killing us if they started betting and we lost.
Don't come to my house.
Yeah, bring Vegas down to its knees, man. But it's so funny. So you believe, are you religious or Buddhist?
I'm spiritual.
Spiritual. Yeah, I would say that's where I'm at. I was
Yeah.
raised Baptist.
Okay. I was Catholic. Well, my mom's parents were Catholic, but we didn't. I got baptized and did my confirmation or communion.
Mhm.
So, but we never followed it, and then, but yeah, but mostly spiritual. Like, I believe, obviously, because like I've seen things.
Sure.
So yeah, I do have a sibling that is skeptical.
Right.
So it's hard to like talk about certain things about like family, and So, but I have other people to talk
Oh,
to
I
about it.
understand.
So.
I understand. My family seen the ghost in my house. They spent the night and would see the lady,
Mhm.
and she never harmed nobody. She did pull on some sheets. You heard some whispers. You heard the footsteps every once in a while, but she never did nothing. She would just walk through a room right in front of you,
Mhm.
turn a corner, and was gone.
Wow.
And you would see her probably 4 or 5 times a month. She was just a white lady, had black eyes. That's
Oh,
what I remember. Not big sunken skull eyes,
yeah.
just they were just black eyes.
Oh, wow.
And, these people seen it, and when I talk to my family today, they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we seen it," but, they just don't wanna talk about it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm the last, because, mom passed away in August
Aw.
and dad passed away a couple years before that, and, so I'm the last one and my cousins that's seen the thing and a couple old street friends I used to hang around, but,
Aw.
I wonder, what do you think about? Because I had done a podcast, someone had me come on not too long ago, and the more I do this, Amy, I always thought there was a difference between aliens and ghost.
Mm.
But the more I'm doing this, sis, I think there is more connection than we believe between ghosts, apparitions, and the alien phenomena, space, and all that. What do you think?
We are all connected. W- they just choose to come to those who want to believe it,
Right.
and yeah, that's a hard one.
Do you think, some people believe there are races of aliens that are harvesting souls?
Mm,
That was one of the darker belief, of course, nobody has an
mm.
idea, but
Well, I
they
would I
believe.
would think maybe the reptilians from that dream I had.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was, it's possible.
Did you ever hear the story of Phil Snyder?
No.
He was the ufologist that was found dead with a catheter tube tied around his neck, ruled
Oh
suicide.
my god.
Um, but he said he worked at Dulce, New Mexico, the, naval base,
Mm.
military base, and they were digging, and he fell through the ground, got into a fight with Grays, and he had,
Oh,
like, this many fingers left, the
wow.
pinky and the thumb, and it looked like it had melted off. Guy had some problems afterwards. They came forward, the wife, and said, he struggled with depression stuff. Who doesn't have problems, right?
Mhm.
But, of course, they tried to downplay it, but definitely some weird stuff around what he had to say. But he let it out. He said that there were tanks in these tunnels, believe it or not, that had body parts in them. That
Yeah.
these Greys, and you had brought that up earlier. I always thought the Greys were supposed to be this friendly, like
Wow.
Switzerland in the middle. They didn't get involved or whatever. But I don't know. They seem to be what he said they were Greys, and that
Mm.
they, in exchange for military technology or advanced technology, we harvest souls and body parts for these things to eat because that's what they need.
Wow. Mm.
That was one of the things. So what do you feel? I mean, you've actually came into contact through dream states.
Oh yeah. I've had, other than the Greys, I've had pretty decent experiences with them. They're not all bad, like the government wants us to think.
Yeah.
Um, like myself, I'm an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I was chatting with my mom the one day, and she was saying, because I have O negative blood,
So
and
you believe yourself to be a human hybrid.
I believe so. Well, I'm
You are.
I
You
guess.
are. Andromeda, you're a human
Yeah.
hybrid. Yeah. You're
But
the first one I believe I've had on the show.
well, um, yeah, that makes sense. I'm still learning, so I still have a lot to learn about all this, like about me and the cosmos. But yeah, and so we were saying about, because the O negative blood, apparently the rumor was that it was alien DNA.
Oh, really?
O negative blood, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, like we can give, no wait, was it, we can give blood, but O negative can only receive O negative. I think,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
think
think
I remember
that's,
something about that.
yeah, the true blood.
Yeah. What do you remember, if anything, from Andromeda, from your life on Andromeda? Can you get visions of that sometimes?
Mm, sometimes I do see planets, yes. I always see the planet with the rings.
Yeah.
Mars was outside my bedroom. No, outside this window one day in my dream. It was like
Yeah.
a big planet.
Oh, wow.
Nothing like bits and pieces is coming back slowly. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to dig more deep in that. But I did do some paintings from dreams I've had with encounters from ships and stuff. A few months ago, I had a dream that there's a lot of people in the water, and this big ship came out of the water, and it brought me up. I remember being inside. It was all dark, so I didn't remember seeing anything.
Like a submarine.
Yeah, it was like I don't know if that's like.
Yeah, that's what you painted today, wasn't it?
No, I painted this a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, and then I was shown the Earth, and then they brought me back, and I remember, no, I want to come back up.
Well, show me that picture again real quick. What is that? Is that the ship coming out of the water?
Yeah, and then this is like where the light comes and brings you up.
It's almost like a portal.
Yeah, it's like a in the
Yeah, that is
blue.
cool. And the sky's gray
Yeah,
or
it was
dark.
dark,
Yeah, and it
but
was a total water planet that you could see.
yeah, and
Amazing.
only some people
You
were
think that
brought.
was you think that was Andromeda? I
Um,
mean,
I'm not sure, but I did. Did I do
but
my?
you also said Atlantis.
Yeah, Atlantis. I'll have to do a painting of the water one day.
Yeah.
Um, I did do
Mm.
one. I did have another dream about aliens. There was this man. He was climbing a snow mountain, and he got to the top of the mountain with his walking stick and was raising his hands up in the air. And there was like a ship above him, and then all of a sudden he just vanished.
Okay.
And then that was
Oh, wow. So
yeah.
he got to the top of the mountain and just gone.
Yep, just gone.
Was that on Earth, you think?
um, who know? I have no idea, but I'll have to look into that more.
So
And
do you how m oh, wow, what's that?
that was another dream I had, not so nice one.
Yeah, is that like a octopus type thing or
Something like that. So this one, I was in a kitchen, and like these tentacles were trying to come out of the sink. And I was
Mm.
like trying to push them back into the sink,
Oh my
and then I just got out of the way, and it came out of the sink, and it had like a almost like a human head,
yeah.
but with tentacles.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
I gotta climb into your mind for a couple of minutes. I don't know.
this. I'm like, I don't know, man. Why? I don't want. What is up with this?
Right. You, being alien human hybrid, which is what you would be,
Yeah.
um, hell, maybe we're all a little alien human hybrid. I don't know. I mean,
Mm.
that's the right? I mean, did we come from monkeys? Did we come from fish? Did we come from organisms off comets that crashed into the earth? Or was there a creator or God? There had to be some kind of creator,
Oh
right?
yeah, definitely.
Life comes from life. So I don't know. What about your psychic readings and stuff? Do people just get you on Facebook and they call
Um,
you? You set up time?
yeah, I have a Facebook page and Instagram. So I like to post daily cards, tarot cards for guidance, and they do message me if they want a reading. So I do that. Actually, someone took over one of my Facebook accounts pretending to be me and charged someone.
Oh, that's terrific.
And I'm like, the person messaged me like asking if this was my only account. I said yes, and then they were only charged like $3, but it's like no, and got a picture from the person with messy cards, and it looked like a I don't know where this person, another country or something. I'm like, no.
Cameras everywhere, dude. Oh god.
No, I like to give readings, and then I usually get like them in dreams. I'll have a dream the night before about someone.
Is that what you have to do? You have to get to some info like a name or something and focus and stuff before you do the reading?
Oh yeah, and then I'll connect. Sometimes I'll connect. I need to start connecting more during the day because the dreams can affect me like physically sometimes.
Yeah.
I've had like psychic attack from one when I first started.
Right.
Yeah, that was not good. That's the first time I saw my spirit guide up close.
You had a you had a connection.
Yeah, so in this dream, I was in a park and I saw this man coming. I knew he wasn't of the light. He looked like a Danny Zuko from Greece.
Yeah.
I had the glasses
Did you
and
start singing? Because I love the soundtrack, man.
I did too. But no, he had the leather jacket. But then I'm like, okay. Then he told me he wanted to show me something. I'm like, okay. Then all of a sudden I started choking and couldn't breathe. And
Yeah.
then this other man came, looked right at me. He's like, he helped get this weird black thing out from my throat.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then he just says, run. And I wake up, and then I woke up after running away.
You know,
But
I wonder how, because my dreams have been since I've gotten older. I'm 48 now, and I don't think I've had a solid dream
mm,
since for like 6 years.
oh wow.
I don't know if I'm not going into the REM state of
Mhm.
sleep where your dreams are. I don't know. I just stopped dreaming, which kind of sucks because, dreams are fun. I like it. And I tried.
Most of them.
Yeah, most of them. I tried to do astral projection, and I watched a bunch. I read a book on it. I interviewed a couple astral projection people and some specialists in it, and they told me some techniques to try. And I listened to this video on YouTube, and I put the earphones in, and I
Mhm.
listened to it, and I started to feel myself float off the bed.
Oh, wow.
But then I grabbed hold of it and shook myself. I couldn't stay. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right when that transition starts, I
Oh, yeah.
flipped out.
Wow.
So
Maybe
how do you keep your shit together when that
mm,
starts happening?
um,
How do you do it?
I just do when I sleep, I don't know. But I did have a dream once of I was at my mom's and is at an apartment building. I don't like it there anymore because of that.
Yeah.
So I was watching. I guess I floated out of my body, and I was watching myself sleep.
Mhm.
But there's a woman there watching me sleep.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, wake up, wake up, wait. I'm just glad she was looking at my body and didn't notice me up above because I would
Right.
have just like I was this weird woman. She like had long curly hair and she was just like staring right at me.
Wow. Standing over you?
Yeah, like right. So like this is the bed.
Yeah.
That's the bed, and then this is her, like right there,
Yeah.
right beside the bed, looking down at me.
You might have some spirit attachments with you, sis, from doing some of these things.
Maybe. I have had sleep paralysis where like held me on both sides, and I was just like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Right.
And I was dragged off the bed once by my foot, but I
Oh,
yelled, no.
yeah.
Excuse me. And I woke up. My boyfriend heard nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't hear anything. He didn't hear me yelling.
It's amazing, man. What do you before you go to bed at night, is there any like let's say you're getting ready to do a reading on me in a couple days
Mhm.
and you want to use because I'm assuming when you go to sleep, that's you ask the universe or something for, hey, let
Yep.
me
Yeah.
project or let me
I
yeah,
guess you
how do you
just
do it? Walk me through the process. How do you prepare for a
I
reading?
don't.
You know?
Well, for a reading like this, I would open up to my spirit guides, and then sometimes I like to open up before the reading just to see if I get anything ahead of time.
Yeah.
So that's usually what I do, and then I'll see images. But for sleep, usually I try to protect the room with white light, and that usually keeps anything from coming in the room.
Right.
But when I sleep, it just happens.
Yeah.
I think maybe because like I'm so used to it and I allow it to happen.
Mm.
So yeah, but there was one that really affected me the next day. I was like, I felt ill.
What was that one?
Um, so like you said, I guess it was the astral projection starting in the dream state. I felt my soul floating up. I'm
Yeah.
like up, 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 up. I'm like, but I was still sleeping and I heard soft music, voices, whispers, like really soft, like holy music. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And I felt myself going higher, but then all of a sudden, You know, when you close your eyes, it's black.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, a metallic white, bright white shield covered my eyes. Like
Hmm,
when I closed it, it was white, just like that.
that's rare.
And then I woke up, I was crying and I was like hyperventilating. I couldn't breathe. And I was crying for almost a day or so.
Right.
And I feel my soul was wanting to go to the higher realms, like heaven, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, but something stopped me from going. So like, I don't know, like my soul wasn't to leave.
Maybe that's why the human condition. You ever think about that? It's always we want more. Don't
Mhm,
you know? Don't what do they say? Don't live like the Joneses
mhm,
because the grass is always greener and stuff like that. But we always want what we don't have. If
mhm.
we have $100, we want $200. If we have, a loaf of bread, we want the
Mhm.
ham.
Yeah.
So we're never completely happy. We
Mhm.
hell, we don't even know how we got here on this rock,
Yeah.
floating through the void of dark matter that we don't even know what it is. We just know
Mhm.
it controls everything. So
Yeah.
it's our whole existence, everything's a mystery. The fact that me and you are talking right now, we're both one. We're molecules sitting here talking to ourselves, basically, but I think therefore I am, right?
Mhm.
So we have that. We have our
Yeah.
minds, our spiritual minds. But
Mhm.
yeah, I try to get pretty deep into it. The psychic part of it, being able to reach out. Have you ever ran into the others, the dark ones out there? Because not everything on the planet is holy and good and wants to help you. And I won't learn one thing with spirit box communication. I can be having a lovely conversation with a young lady or a man, and then all of a sudden I'll have whoever's dead is lost. Or sometimes I'll play a prayer over the while I'm doing a ghost box session, and sometimes they'll get outraged. So, do you ever run into I'm sure you have
Oh,
protections.
yeah, I've had a few experiences though. The first one when I first started out, my friends and I was helping my friend on his podcast. He's got one too.
Yeah.
Um, and we went to this castle in Hamilton, Ontario, called Thundering Castle, and it's haunted there. And we actually went back this October for a ghost tour. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, the first time I was trying to connect there, and we were just doing our thing. We could only go on the outside of the grounds because it was during the pandemic then. So we are
Okay.
just walking the grounds and got to look in the windows, and then I'm like, oh, I saw that from my dream I had. And but then I was kind of on my own because they went to over the other wave, and then I heard a male voice in my head asking if anyone was there. I'm like, that's weird. And then it was time to leave, and I started not to feel good walking to the car. Like, how come I'm not feeling good? This is so weird. And my friend drove me home. He's like, "Are you okay?" Because I was gonna pass. He like thought I was gonna pass out in the car. I had a headache and everything. I got home, went to change my clothes, and then my arm was itchy. And then I looked, and I had 3 scratches on my arm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and there was nothing sharp that could have got me because I was wearing a winter coat, which was like super thick, and like a hoodie underneath too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but that, and I'm like, okay, so that was an earthbound spirit there.
Right.
Yeah. Um, I did go to Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum a couple summers ago
Mhm.
when I was in Vegas, and that rosary behind me, I wore it on my wrist,
Mhm.
and it levitated 3 times.
Levitated. Off
Yeah,
your wrist or just the
off my wrist.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I was on the tour. I met a girl there. I went by myself because my boyfriend had a union conference there for his work. So, and then he didn't want to go there. So, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go by myself. I don't care. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna
Right.
face my fears.
That's it. That's
um,
it.
so yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna bring it's my grandma's rosary. It's plastic. So I wore it, and then the tour started, and they're like, I knew what was in there, but you're not really ready for what to expect when you get in there.
Right.
And so they're like, "Oh, who likes Ed and Lorraine Warren?" I'm like, "Oh, we do." And then so we went into this room, and then I looked to my left. I'm like, "Oh crap! I know this room." And it had the Devil's Rocking Chair in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. You
Yes.
know, the
Oh,
the The funny thing about Zach's museum and everything, he has what's called the Dybbuk box. I'm sure you've seen.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If you look behind me on the top shelf there, that is a replica between the haunted angel statue up there
Wow.
and right in the middle. You can't see it real good, but that's a replica given to me by the original owner of the Dybbuk box, Jason Haxton.
Wow.
Um,
That's crazy because
the
so
box actually attacked my family. That was the first time ever. Yeah, man, my house almost blew up with gas. There was
no.
writing on the walls when I had the owner on the show.
Wow.
Every time we started talking about the Holocaust and the connection the box had to it, there was interference on the line. And I swear, a couple days later, it just
Wow.
you have to go back and listen to the episode I did because it
Oh,
was. And once you come for me, that's fine. I understand this life. I know what I've chosen to do. But when you come after my family,
oh,
that's personal. That's too much. And I actually went with Jason Haxton and helped him rebury the box with the rabbi.
wow.
And he told me he would never sell it, but then he ended up selling it to Zach. So
Oh gosh.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny story with the Dybbuk box. So I'll finish the first. This is the first time the rosary levitated when I was in the Devil's Rocking Chair room in front of 10 other people.
Mm,
So
yeah.
Zach comes on the TV. His TV's in every room explaining the stuff that's in there. I was fine. I was trying to, because they tell you don't look at anything in the eye, but when you get there, everything's looking at you in the eyes. So yeah, he comes on and then he said, we're going to play you the audio of an exorcism that Ed and Lorraine Warren took part on with the boy, I guess the boy.
Yeah.
And so I got goosebumps, like, oh my God. So we might cut out if I'm talking about this because I was talking about this with Sean.
Yeah.
Sean Austin, shout out. And that's when as soon as the audio started of the exorcism, the rosary levitated
Right.
in front of saying, get the hell out of that room.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no better warning than that.
I'm like, are you guys seeing this? I was showing everybody, like, look.
Did they see it? Did the other people see it?
Yeah, that's right. That was really high.
What was it pointing towards? Was it pointing towards
The
something?
door.
Yeah. Get the hell out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I wanted to go in the Dybbuk box, but I was having dreams about it because I was on my friend's podcast. Excuse me. It's called
Go ahead and plug your friend's podcast. We got to help each other.
It's called Unexplained Inc. So Unexplained Incorporated, Phantom Phil, shout out. Friend of mine, personal friend.
All
I
right.
used to do the introductions for him and did case studies with him. So the case studies were true crime based on paranormal events.
There
And
you
one
go.
of them was the Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
So we would watch the movies and then we would talk about the movie and the true story behind it. And one of them was the Dybbuk box. So then I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go in this room when I get to the Haunted Museum, but the rosary levitated as we were walking towards it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's decided not to go in it because
I had that box, Amy, right here in the studio with me. It was
wow. You
yeah,
might have to reach out to you, my friend. You might reach out
yeah, it was
after I tell him that.
it was here, and the knocking started, the voices over the radio. I mean, you can listen to everything. You can go back in my archive, shadownation.com, and you can
Wow.
see Jason Haxton, owner of the Dybbuk box. This must have been 8 years ago I had him on.
I'm like,
And it was just crazy. It was nuts.
so yeah, and then the final time it levitated, I felt I'm getting drained, and I'm like, I wonder if this is going to be over soon. And it levitated once more right in front of the tour guide, and I'm like, do you see this? She's like, oh yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
she didn't care.
Let's see it. I seen you go pick it up.
Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. That was
yeah,
your grandmother's?
yeah, and it levitated right in front of her. The last room was the demon house.
The
And
demon.
I watched that episode, and no way I was going in that room. Heck no.
That was the house here in my state, Gary, Indiana.
Oh wow, Gary.
Yeah.
Oh, like that show.
It was kind of weird that when some movie producers got involved, Zach tore it down. There were some movie producers that wanted to film a documentary there, and he filmed his piece, Demon House or whatever, and then he had the house tore down,
Oh my
which he claimed it was to protect the world from evil or whatever, but who knows? Who knows?
I
So,
don't know, but then when I got home, I felt that this rosary was different. Like it felt weird. And then you can still see it because of the levitation. You can see it cut
oh yeah.
like right here where the white mark is there.
Yeah, it was trying to cut away.
Yep, it cut. Then there's a piece of the string that's loose as well. I smudged that when I got home.
Yeah. It's just like the cross was trying to burn through the
Yeah, and all you see is plastic.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
amazing.
And I had it like this. Like, oh, I can't do it now, but
Yeah,
basically it's like this on my wrist, and then
yeah. Yeah. How cool is that, man?
that was pretty cool.
Amy, do you got anything you want to talk about? Anything coming up or how people can get a hold of you for readings and stuff like that?
Um, Coming up, I will be getting my level 2 Reiki in June.
Okay.
I'm going to Newfoundland this summer,
Nice.
and I have a friend who lives there for my boyfriend's conference, so more of a vacation for me. I'm tagging along.
Yeah.
My friend wants to take me to a few haunted areas that are there, so that should be interesting. I'll definitely keep you posted on that.
Oh, please do, man.
But, yeah, been having dreams of Newfoundland since before we found out about the trip. So yeah, those are what's coming up, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook page I have, and
Well, how
TikTok.
do they find you? Just your name?
Just Amy Psychic Medium. I have posted on the Facebook page. I don't charge for readings. Well, no, this is my only account. That's what I put. This is my only account. And Instagram is Amy Psychic Medium, and TikTok same. I post videos of sometimes in my dreams and stuff.
Well, you're gonna have to give me a reading sometime. I'd
Oh,
love
for sure. Yeah.
to. Yeah.
I'm
If
pretty
you
much available anytime, just work part-time. So
yeah, yeah, I don't blame it a bit. But I wanted to thank you for coming on. I know we're running short on time, and I just want to make sure we covered and touch base on everything. I think we did, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Andromeda, and whatever. I got to ask this real quick. Whatever happened to Atlantis?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Where is it? They think they found it like 20 times.
I don't know. There is a documentary about finding Atlantis, but I don't know. I do keep getting. I have a Starseed deck by Rebecca Campbell, and one of the cards I keep getting is Atlantis. So I don't know.
Well,
if I get it, I'll let you know if I figure it out.
well, Amy, I want you to wait in the green room, and I thank you so much, girl, for coming on. It's been
Yeah,
amazing talking to
anytime.
you. Yeah. Is there a website people can go to check you out?
No website, unfortunately. Just Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
All right. Well, I'm going to put you in the green room, and I'm going to close out the show, and me and you going to do some talking, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, you hear the music, so special thanks to tonight's very special guest, psychic medium and starseed, Amy Litwiller. What an amazing person she is. A fantastic interview. Special thanks to all our friends, the Red Lion Pub in Fountain Square, Indianapolis, the best in old world British food and a great atmosphere. So if you're in Indianapolis, make sure to stop by. And of course, our friend Brad from Creative Zombie Studios, everything you need for the podcasting world. Be the best. Be creative, creativezombie.com. From the haunted back roads of America, this has been another exclusive Shadow Nation interview. Don't go changing America. You know I won't, because I love you. Good night, everybody.